Is Louisiana Association? No, I get the first question.
No, I got to go back to something.
So do I. Louisiana Association of Business and Industry CEO Stephen Waguespack. Okay, go ahead.
We tied him to his chair. The $300 million surplus. Since it's there, let's get lawmakers together when they meet in the spring, and let's roll that temporary sales tax off the books. It's supposed to be on the books for 6 years. Let's go ahead and get it off now. We got the money. We're good. Am I pipe dreaming?
No, I mean, maybe so. I mean, next session's political climate, I'll be honest with you, who the heck knows after the midterms what that is. It's an election year next year. A lot of folks in their last term. That could be a lot of momentum for something like that, or it could be a roadblock. I don't know yet. My guess is they're going to say, no, we're going to spend that $300 million on what the Constitution allows us to, either roads or, higher ed buildings or pension debt or whatever. Constitution says how you got to spend that money. And what the economists in the building said is, look, this surplus, don't get used to it. It's a blip on the radar. And so when someone brings that bill to do that, what the left is going to say, oh, wait, this isn't going to be here next year. We're going to create a bubble. So you're going to hear that pushback from the administration, and the Democrats will know because the legislative economists are saying it's a one-year blip on the radar.
Okay.
We were talking, well, it was something you said in the first segment, and you were listing what in your mind are Louisiana's the biggest problems that keep our economy from growing. And you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one of those jumped out at me, and I wrote it down. Kiss the rings. Explain what you mean by that, and explain why, because I talk about this all the time, specifically the differences in Louisiana and Texas, and a lot of reasons why Texas works and Louisiana occasionally not so well. And I make the point, to use your lexicon, kiss the rings. There are far more rings to kiss in Louisiana than there are in Texas.
Oh, and there's numerous examples of this. It's one of our largest problems that no one wants to talk about, but I'll give you the best way I can illustrate the example. So as part of my job, we go to Texas every now and then and go talk to companies and basically say, hey, how can you invest more in Louisiana? What can we do to entice you? Tell us the story. And a lot of times I'll hear something like, look, Wags, let me tell you what actually happens. So if we're thinking about investing in a new plant or facility or expansion or upgrade or whatever, and we're looking at Brownsville, Texas, or Lake Charles, Louisiana, and we're trying to decide which one, we know internally at corporate headquarters, here's what we got to do. In Texas, go sit down with the local county officials, the economic developers, figure out the deal, look at the school system, make it work at the county level. In Louisiana, hire lobbyists and run to the Capitol. Think about that dichotomy right there. Every company,
me, it sounds like a shakedown operation.
It's embarrassing is what it is. Every company out there knows the gig. It's not that Louisiana's a bad place. We got great people, all that stuff. I can go on and on. But if you're coming to invest here, you're trained over the years, go hire lobbyists and run to the Capitol. Whereas in Texas, you go sit down at the local level and figure out solutions. We got to get to that level where it's not about kissing the rings. It's about letting our great attributes actually sell themselves. And that gets back to local control. That means depopulating the power of that capital and stop forcing everything to run through the sieve of the state capitol building.
Let's go ahead.
Speaking of kissing the rings, next year is a governor's race. What are you anticipating seeing in that? A lot of people are saying John Bel Edwards is done, that he's going to be beaten by a strong Republican contender. You expect that? And what do you expect to see from the candidates for governor next year? What do you want to see?
Well, let me give you a different answer in the election first. 2019, I would say, is the most important election year Louisiana's probably had, maybe in a lifetime, but definitely in the last couple of decades. And here's why. You've got massive term limits next year. Let's put governor aside for 1 second. Forget who's governor for a second. You're going to have 55 to 65 new legislators elected next year. Those new legislators are going to come in, and in 2020, the new U.S. Census is going to come out. And in 2021, they're going to draw the new lines. These are guys and gals who've been in the Capitol for 6 months, don't even know where the bathrooms are. Now they're drawing the lines. That same term limit crowd is going to be there for 12 years. They're going to draw them again in 2031. So the people you elect next fall for the legislature are going to be drawing the next 20 to 30 years of lines for your legislators, your members of Congress, your judges, your PSC, your Supreme Court, everything. So if you like Mike Johnson as your congressman, you might want to pay attention on who's getting elected to the legislature next year. If you like your local legislators like Dodie Horton we talked about last night, whoever it is, you might want to get involved in who you're going to be putting for office next year in the legislature, because that next legislature, before they even know really where they're going to park their car in the Capitol, are going to be making 20 to 30-year decisions in that building. So right now we are jamming at Lobby on trying to find candidates who are not the same old, new fresh faces, people who know how to run a business, people who know what it means like to hire people and make tough decisions, people who have entrepreneurial spirit. I want people who are not your typical same old people run to the legislature to go make these decisions.
And what do you want to see from the candidates for governor?
For governor, it's a real plan. Look, I love talking points and bumper stickers like the next guy, but that's not going to get it done. I want a real plan. What are your positions on taxes? What is your position on legal climate? What is your position on a constitutional convention? Are you ready to go there? Are you ready to depopulate that power in the Capitol and go to local control? If you're into that, I'll be the first one knocking doors for you. And so, look, I know the same names that y'all know who might run for governor. The names aren't important to me. It's what their plan is. And I don't care what party or where they come from. If they want to do the real stuff that we've known we've had to do forever, I'm ready to bear hug that person and help them get elected. I haven't seen that come forward yet by anyone.